This is a vintage, all plastic shotgun shell. They haven't made these things for years. We're gonna figure out if they still work today. Welcome to Sandstone Ridge. So today, we're testing out these vintage, all plastic, Activ shotgun shells. Now, this is a normal shotgun shell. Everybody knows what these look like. They're metal on the bottom and the rest is plastic. But these don't have the metal part. So these were made about from the 1970s to the 1990s. You guys might want to see the box just to get an idea of how old these are and the conditions they were probably stored in. Obviously weren't the best. You got some water damage right there. These are 7.5 shot, 2 3/4 inch. It tells right here the different shot sizes that they offer and everything. It tells all of the grand things that is better about these compared to normal shells. And on the back, it's got a really cool graphic that shows the construction of these. So it's actually got heavy gauge steel in the plastic head, and that keeps them from rusting on the outside while still being reinforced on the inside. So these things are just so neat. And honestly, I really don't know why they never caught on. Huge shout out to my buddy Jared. He found these shells at a yard sale and he bought them just for me. Let's try one of these on a steel target. We'll just see if it fires. It went off. Does not have very much recoil at all. Honestly, it feels kind of weak. You can see that it opened up just like a normal crimp shell. All right, now I'm gonna load one of each, a modern shell and a vintage all plastic shell into this double barrel and see how they compare. Now these are the exact same load. They are both the same shot size, same shot weight, everything's the same. So it's a fair comparison. We'll shoot the modern shell first and then the vintage shell. Has pretty good felt recoil on the modern shell. Honestly, those two felt about the same actually. I can't believe these are still going off after this many years. All right, now I got the old Mossberg pump out. We're gonna see how these pattern, and we're also gonna compare that to a modern shell. Modern shell first. Ooh. Kicks a little worse out of this than that double barrel for some reason. So here's our pattern. That gun has a turkey choke, so obviously at 15 yards, it's pretty doggone tight, but yeah, I can cover most of it with my hand. There's a couple little flyers here and there, but not too shabby. So let's get another Papa John's pizza box out. All right, now we got the plastic shell. Interesting. Seems like they cycle okay. The shot hit right here, and it's very easy to tell that this actually has a much bigger pattern than the modern shell at this range. I don't know if the velocity is a little bit less, but for some reason the shot didn't stay together as well. I can still cover a lot of it with my hand, but there's some flyers like way up here, way over here, so interesting. So I've got about 4 of those shells left. I'm gonna load them in the pump shotgun and we're gonna test a couple things at one time. We're gonna see how they cycle, and we're also gonna see how they do against some tangible targets. All right, now I got some water bottles over here on the target table, and we're gonna try them out on those and see how they compare to modern shells, and then we'll shoot a couple jugs too. If you like and subscribe, you might even be lucky enough to see it in slow motion. Or don't, and you'll get to see it anyways, but I would really appreciate it if you did. All right, we got 4 of these modern shells loaded up in here. We're gonna shoot them. Not too shabby. All right, now it's time for the weirdo plastic shells. We got 4 of these loaded up as well. I think the red bottle tried to get away. Well, those felt about the same as the modern shells, honestly. And we're gonna check out the targets, but from the looks of it, I think they actually did a little bit better. These shells are just so weird. Like, I've never seen an all plastic shell like that. I don't even see how it works. I mean, what keeps the head of these from cracking? We've seen some cracking on those old Western Auto shotgun shells. They were cracking around the head. So like, what keeps these plastic shells from doing that? Because these, you would think, would get more brittle over time being plastic, but they still seem to work perfectly fine. I mean, even the crimp looks good. Have you ever seen these plastic shells before, or have you ever known anybody that had some? Drop down in the comments below and let me know how they were. If you liked them, they work good. They seem to be better than normal shotgun shells, because this is the first time I've ever even seen these things. All right, so here is the carnage. Well, this is the jug we shot with the modern shell. I shot a little bit high, but still, they didn't penetrate that much. It just kind of made some small holes. Well, that's the exit hole, actually. But yeah, I mean, it's what you'd expect for birdshot, really. But those old Activ shells, look at that, dude. It actually busted that jug wide open. I mean, you would think that the modern shell would be better, but not necessarily. And there's some shot right there. That looks so cool on the ice. I'm very surprised at that. I figured at the least that these would be just a little bit less powerful than the modern shells, but they actually did way better. I think we should start a snow cone business. Don't eat the yellow snow. 9 out of 10 doctors do not recommend that. So all in all, these shells actually blew my mind today. I can't believe these still work as good as they did, and I would love to find some more just to be able to shoot them more. They cycled great in the pump shotgun. They worked good in the double barrel. We didn't have any heads cracking. I'm keeping one just for my collection, because I keep one of every kind of old ammo that I come across. I've even got some old solid brass shells that are 3.5-inch Magnum double-aught buckshot. I'll never shoot them, but maybe I'll show them to you sometime. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure and give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more. I really appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next weekend on Sandstone Ridge.